What is up, Honey Badger Nation? This is John Kitchens, and welcome to episode 137 of Expert Mentors Live. I'm excited that we finally get to do this episode with my very good friend, Mr. Alex Piech. And hey, brother, welcome.
What's happening, man?
Glad to have you on finally. I know we had this scheduled last month, and one of the reasons you moved to Texas is to get out of the damn snow and ice. And guess what you get?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That sucked. I didn't move far enough south, obviously.
No, you did not go far enough south. That's crazy. So crazy. Well, Alex is definitely no stranger to the Expert Mentors episodes. I think you have been, this is your 5th appearance with us. Some of the most epic Expert Mentor episodes we've had. You guys have not watched episode 8, Becoming the Dominant Go-To Agent, Force Multiplier Strategy, episode 45, How to Use for Sell-By Owners to Grow Your Business, even if they don't list with you, episode 71, How to Use Video to Become the Go-To Agent in Your Market, even if nobody's ever heard of you, and episode 94, the 10-step framework for taking over a neighborhood. Mr. Joe Hollow is the only one that has you beat. He's got 8. We got to get your numbers up.
I got to step up my game.
Oh, give a little background for all the new Honey Badgers tuning in that may not have had the pleasure of tuning in or connecting with you.
Yeah, so I've been in real estate since 2003, originally from Connecticut, and I just got involved in real estate because I was going to school. I had no clue what the hell I wanted to do. My dad was in real estate, flipping houses. So I said, shit, I'll just get my real estate license. And that was it, man. I would say within the first probably 2 to 3 months, I had my first sale. I was sitting in my college class, looking at my commission check, looking at the professor, looking at my commission check. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing here?
I'm out.
So I went through the motions and did graduate. But I had checked out. I saw the opportunity. But I quickly realized, I had no systems, no processes. My dad was flipping houses. He wasn't like a realtor where he was generating clients and leads and he had nothing. So I'm like, holy shit, what do I do? So I quickly just started, investing in coaching, training, went to seminars, and I was trying to figure this shit out on my own, trial and error, and that gets really expensive. Made some bad decisions, literally went down a coaching rabbit hole where, I did everything they told me to do. Spent like 50, 60 grand and almost put myself out of business, and it didn't work, but I never gave up. So I just kept trying different things. And finally it clicked, man. And things did, they went really well. I owned an investment company. We were flipping homes, had a real small brokerage, but we were doing 100 transactions a year in a little town called Naugatuck, Connecticut. So that was that. And that also led me to the introduction of you guys, through a mutual friend, and packed my bags in 2014 and moved to Dallas. I'm that type of guy. Like, I packed my shit in a car. I drove to Dallas. My wife was in Connecticut. I rented a little 1-bedroom. I said, well, hey, if I can make it in 6 months, we'll sell all our shit up there and we'll move down. And that's exactly what we did, man. And 2016, started the partner program with yourself and Michael Reese. We moved into an office space in Dallas, and from scratch built that thing up to 268 transactions for about 2.3 million. We were partnering with agents, making them the dominant go-to agent in their market service area. And, I was responsible for onboarding, training, coaching. We had an inside sales center. I had 12 full-time ISAs making 18,000 outbound dials. I would download their calls. I would role play. I would critique. So, man, it's been a wild ride.
And we got to commute 1 hour each way to the office.
Minimum 1 hour each way. But let me tell you, we crushed the shit out of Audible books.
We did. I listened to more Audible books that year than any time in my life.
For sure. I mean, 2 a month, they were just coming in. I mean, when you're in traffic for that long every week, I mean, you're crushing a book a week.
That was our biggest challenge. Hey, man, we need more Audible credits. We need more Audible credits.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but it was a hell of a ride, man. I mean, to go from scratch to build something like that, the lessons we learned, holy shit. I mean, there was just things that I would never, ever do again. Even though we had massive success, you learn a lot, right? How do you shortcut success in the future? So it was fun, but we learned a lot.
We did. We learned an awful lot. A lot of lessons. We left a lot of money on the table. You know, and you know, in that market, you know, trying to you know, nobody knows you, trying to penetrate into that market. And so I'm excited to dive in today. I know we're going to talk about really honing in your business and thrive. And, you know, I've never experienced a market like this. I've been in since 2004. So, you know, this is definitely uncharted territory I think for everybody, historic lows of inventory. And so I'm really excited for you to jump in. And, you know, guys, if you're not, you know, following or paying attention to Alex, you know, definitely one of the most talented and skilled and articulate real estate professionals I've ever had the opportunity to be around, align with, and work with. So I've got my notepad handy. I know there's going to be a lot of nuggets shared. So we got a lot. Let's jump in. You ready to roll?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to share my screen and just kind of walk me through this and make sure you guys can see. Let me know if you have the full screen now.
Got it now. We look good here.
Right. Cool. So, you know, when we were chatting now well over a month ago, right, because we didn't get to do the last episode due to the freak snowstorm and loss of power, you know, we were talking about, hey, what is something you could talk to these agents about? And I'm like, man, the market's really challenging right now. Like, there's no doubt about it. And you just said it. Like, I don't care how long you've been in this business. There's never been a situation like what we're experiencing right now. You know, I went through 2004, 5, 6, where the market was like, you know, just skyrocketing. Things were selling multiple offers. We're seeing some of that now, but there were homes to sell. We've never seen that with a combination of extremely low interest rates with the lack of inventory. So this has never been seen. So, you know, I always tell people, if somebody tells you they've been through this, they're pretty much full of shit, because nobody's ever been this. So when I was talking with John, we were like, all right, let's talk about how we can help agents pivot and thrive in a low inventory market, because, you know, what you focus on expands. So if you're just focused on the limited inventory and how challenged it is, you're never going to break through. So we want to talk about 7 ways you can pivot your business and thrive in a low inventory market. We kind of did the quick bio, so there's nothing in here, obviously. You know, you guys kind of know who I am. I'm a pretty open book. So let's just dive right in, and then we can open it up for some Q&A or everything like that after this.
For sure.
Hopefully this will go about 25, 30 minutes. So when I was thinking about all the ways that we could thrive and pivot our business, the first thing that came to mind was you got to know where you're currently at. So you got to review your marketing and your budget allocation when it comes to lead generation. So everybody on today's call, you should be doing an assessment of how many buyer lead generation pillars do I currently have in my business? How many seller lead generation pillars do I have in my business? And what's the budget for each one of them? Once you've kind of done that homework, you'll know where you're at. And from there, what we need to be doing in this market is we need to adjust your budget and focus on seller lead generation. Let's face it, having buyers in this challenging market is not what you want. You do not want to be buyer heavy where there are 30 to 60 offers on a property and offers are going for 50 to 100,000 over asking price with full, you know, guarantees of appraisal, all the crazy things that most people are experiencing throughout the country. And if all you have is buyers, you're in deep trouble, because you're going to be like a Pop-Tart in your seat. Every time a buyer calls, you got to pop out and go show one home, because if you don't show it, it's going to be gone tomorrow. Now, if you've got 3, 4, 5 buyers, you're going to be in your car driving all over town, showing one home, one home, one home, writing several offers. And there's a chance you might write 5, 6, 7, 10 or more offers for every one of your clients before they get one accepted. Guys, that is not scalable. That is not enjoyable. That is not fun. That is not a business. That absolutely sucks. So what we need to do is look, if you're buyer heavy right now, you have to ask yourself, how much of that budget can I shave and move over to seller lead generation pillars? Now, there's a bunch
Alex,
of things. Yes.
Yeah. What would you say, somebody kind of shooting for like, hey, we need, 6, 7, 8 hooks in the water. I mean, I know the answer is as many as possible, but like, what do you kind of see? Like, hey, we need a bare minimum of this is kind of what we're trying to shoot for.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say if you don't have at least 4 pillars, you're probably in trouble. Some of the best real estate agents and teams in the country usually have 6 to 8 pillars for buyers and sellers. Because when one thing doesn't work, you need those others to balance out your market, or else you have catastrophic problems. See, when you're a business of one, whether that be, hey, I do everything by referral. We've all heard of those agents. My business is 100% by referral. Well, number one, you're not in control of that. Anything could happen and you could lose market share. So when you're a business of one, you're weak. When you're a business of 4, 5, 6, you're strong. And if any one thing pivots or changes in the market, you have other things that keep your business moving forward. Here's a great example. If you were an agent who needed open houses to generate leads, how's that doing in the last 12 or 18 months with coronavirus, right? You were pretty much put out of business. So that's why being an agent of one, it's like building literally your house foundation on a stick, right? Like we want to build a strong foundation here. So there's a couple of different pillars you guys could be doing right now. And I'm going to give you examples as well. But Facebook is a marketing media that you should be leveraging. Google pay-per-click, postcards, door hangers, direct mail letters, focusing on old expireds, and I put 1920. What about going back to, as far back as 5, 6 years, scrubbing that list? There are services out there like Vulcan 7, RedX, where you could download all of it and it'll scrub that list to see who came on the market, who never came back on the market. I'd be going through adding these pillars of people who I'd be speaking to, because I'm putting all of my time, all of my energy, all of my focus into sellers. Because let's face it, guys, if you have a listing, you have the winning lottery ticket. It's cash in the bank. So if you're going to focus on one, let's focus on listings. For sale by owners, there may not be a lot, but here's one cool thing with the market today. There's a good chance you could list it, cover your entire commission, and they still net more money. For rent by owners is another one. If you guys aren't calling landlords, and I'm going to give you some examples of that as well today. That's another opportunity in today's market. Top turnover neighborhoods. We've talked about this in other Expert Mentors lives that I've done. Go find the neighborhoods that are turning over. Also, event-based prospecting. This is the one that I enjoy and I'm doing most frequently in my actual real estate business right now. Is usually when there's a home in a neighborhood that sells, within 10 to 30 days, there's usually 1 or 2 additional sellers that come on the market. And a lot of times they're just waiting to see what happens to this other listing in the neighborhood. Yep. Does it sell? What does it sell for? Things like that.
That's a great point, man. Just even think about that. Even if you're in a neighborhood that's, you have, kind of active, it's crazy to listen to, right? Thinking, hey, what did that house sell for? Maybe do you think I could get that? What could I get for my home? So there's a lot of those conversations happening, and I'm experiencing it, right? The guys here on the street, they're paying attention to what's selling and kind of in their mind what they could sell their home for today.
100%. Yeah, for sure. That's why event-based prospecting is so important. And I'm going to lay out the strategy for you guys right here. So take some notes here, because event-based prospecting isn't just one, it's several things. Like John said, there's multiple signs in the neighborhood. Agent in the neighborhood. How do you become the top of mind agent? So here's the strategy. When you are getting a listing in a neighborhood, you need to circle prospect and let everybody know about it coming soon. You get to pick your neighbor type thing. Hey, we're coming on the market. We just wanted to let the neighbors know first, just in case you know any friends, family members, coworkers who also have enjoyed your neighborhood and have had interest in possibly moving. Then you want to call and you want to invite them to an open house. And you may even say, we're going to be holding it open exclusively for the neighbors 30 minutes before the public open house. Make them feel special. If you're going to get lookers anyway, get them into the house early before you have other actual buyers there. Let them see all the things that you do differently. I do a mega open house. It's pretty insane. And I can share with you guys some different strategies on what we're doing with open houses that are different than the traditional, we've all heard the mega open house on steroids. It's a combination of that with just the unique offer, different than what we've done in the past, because there are no foreclosures in this market. So we're doing that. And I'm having sellers in the neighborhood walk into my open house and say, what did you do to get all these people here? What is this sign? What is this marketing all about? Because it's different. They've never seen it. A lot of people are getting a lot of people at open houses today. So that's not uncommon. But when they see my signage and things that we do differently, that's when they're like, what is this all about? Tell me more. We're thinking about selling. So then we do these open houses. We also send out a just listed postcard. And then when we sell the house, we're calling around the neighborhood as well. Hey, congratulations. We just sold your neighbor's home. It sold for $50,000 over asking price at $700,000. It's a new high price in your neighborhood. That's going to help your home's equity. Do you know anybody else in the neighborhood I should be speaking to about selling their home? Because we had several buyers that missed out on this deal, but they were willing to pay over asking price and had really favorable seller terms. Then I'm sending a just sold postcard out. And then I'm going to another level and I'm sending out a handwritten or hand addressed envelope with a letter inside that's from your neighbor. It's called an endorsement letter. So that's coming, and it looks like it's coming from my client endorsing me and what we did to get their home sold. That is the event-based prospecting, the circle prospecting, the multiple touch system that we're doing around every one of our listings. So it's not just you saw my sign. You heard from me 3 times. I showed up in your mailbox 3 times. I could door hang around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I could do all of these strategies. And now it's like, dude, that's the guy if you need to sell your home.
Yeah. Hustle, right? Hustle. Putting in the effort there. It's not just, like you said, putting the sign in the yard and anybody can do that in this market specifically, right? And so being able to show and demonstrate that you're going above and beyond more so than anybody else.
Absolutely. And you got to it's proof, right? You got to show them, you got to wow them, and you got to just be consistently engaging with your people. Step 3 is change your targeting and your message on your lead generation. Now, I'm not against buyers in this market, but I am against buyers looking in the normal price. So whatever your median price point is, I don't want those buyers. So if somebody's looking in Frisco and they're at 500, 600,000, that's not a good buyer for me today, guys, because they're going for $100,000 over asking. And unless they can write a ridiculous offer and have a bunch of cash, I might have to write a bunch of offers and show a bunch of homes. Where I'm targeting is the luxury market. So I'm looking to target higher price point buyers where there's less competition, where the days on market isn't 1, where homes are taking 30 to 45 days to sell. The cash conversion is still quick, right? I'm not looking at ultra luxury that's taking 24 months. I might be looking at the 900 to $1.3 million that's still selling quickly in my market, but there might just be one offer or no offers to compete against. Okay. I'm also looking for where the list price to sales price ratio isn't 105%. It might be 96, 97%. So I can get my buyers a little bit of wiggle room. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It does. And you may unpack, kind of share this, but what is that message to be able to attract a buyer in that higher price point market?
Yeah. So marketing to message match. So what do people in the luxury market look for? Could be square footage, could be gated, guarded communities, could be homes with acreage. So you got to know what is it that they're looking for. Executive style homes, gated community properties, homes on, acreage. Those are the things that generally come with a higher ticket price. And those are how I'm just switching. I mean, you could do a free list of gated community homes for sale if you have those. Golf course properties, water view properties. Look at the things that come with a higher priced average. Look in the neighborhoods, free list of Starwood homes for sale, prices starting at 900,000. So Starwood might be an attractive neighborhood. Newman Village might be an attractive neighborhood. So there's a variety of marketing messages that you can use to attract. Now, your cost per lead is going to be higher, right? Because we're niching down to smaller markets. So we're not just shotgun approach where we're getting all these leads. I see agents posting, I got $1 leads. Great. That means your marketing message was so just blah and fit everybody that you're going to have to make 1,000 phone calls to find the one qualified buyer. That's not my approach. I'd rather pay $20 a lead and call 5 people and close a deal. Just a different approach, right?
I love that. No, I think it's great.
I'm also not a marketing agency, so I'm not trying to sell you on generating a shit ton of leads like, other marketing agencies do. I'm trying to get to how do I make more money without having to trade it more time and energy and work harder. And if you could dial in your marketing message, you can improve the quality of people that you generate and attract.
100%. That's awesome.
So let's go to 3. How do we change our marketing and messages for sellers? Well, hey, the good news is we're all part of EXP and there's this thing called express offers, right? So everybody on this call should be copying what the iBuyers are doing in your market, creating similar messaging so that you can go get a piece of that percentage of the market. So how do you do that? If you go on Facebook and you go to Open Door, Zillow, OfferPad, whoever's the iBuyer in your market, they'll have a business Facebook page. Go down to page transparency and view the ads that they're running. And guess what? These companies are spending millions every month, and they have, marketing staffs that probably have hundreds of people. They're split testing everything: color schemes, headlines, pictures, offers, hooks. Go in, see which ones have been running for a month or 2 or 3. That'll give you good insight of what's working, or else they would shut it off.
Right.
Don't steal it verbatim, but model it. What can you do? Was it a picture of a house, or was it a picture of a sign? Was it a picture of a, couple, or, what was it that they're using for imaging? Then you can get something similar. What was their offer? Sell your home for top dollar, or sell your home and move whenever you want, right? Like, figure out what's working, duplicate it, and then leverage the express offers with EXP. It's the convenient sale. It's the move when you want, the no showings, the no hassle approach. We could all do that. Just sold. We have buyers. Buyers missed out. You guys can do this on postcards, door hangers, and social media posts in target neighborhoods, right? It's all about the branding impressions and letting people know, what did the house sell for? Multiple offers, how much, how many offers, how quickly, do you have more buyers, right? And then getting that message out. I like video. So I do the "we have a buyer looking in your area" video, and I post it on social media. I could do a video with my client saying, "Hey, this is Alex with EXP. I'm here with John and Mary. And John and Mary are currently in the market to buy a home. And they're looking in this area, this area, and this area. They're looking for a 4-bedroom, 3 baths, about 3,000 square foot home. Right now, there's so few homes on the market, we haven't been able to find one. But if you or anyone you know is thinking about selling a home and it kind of matches that criteria, send me a message.
That's cool.
Right? And then you could boost or post that and run that on your Facebook page. You could put some advertisement dollars behind it. The other cool thing you could do is if you're showing a home in the neighborhood and they were like, it's multiple offers, they missed out, turn on your phone and do a video in front of the neighborhood entrance, right? Something that's eye-catching, where if I lived in that neighborhood, I would have to stop and watch that video. The hell is this dude doing with a video in front of our neighborhood? And it's the same message, but with a different visual background. So you could do multiple videos to get out there. And what's cool is you can then transcribe that video and you could direct mail it to all the homeowners, right? So it's about being creative. It's about, just like I said, spending your time, energy, and effort focusing on sellers. I just sent out 96 letters this morning. I was stuffed in envelopes and postage and got those going out because we had a sale in a neighborhood, right? I want to go get another sale in that neighborhood because here's the thing. We had multiple offers and there's buyers. I could pick up the phone and go put a property under deposit without having to do any marketing or anything, just because I have a database of buyers waiting right now. So these are all the things everybody can be doing. And here's the cool thing. None of this so far cost a lot of money at all.
No, not at all. You got Nash to get some child labor yet?
He is here. I don't know. He has not busted in. What time? Sarah might be putting him down for a nap, but I could hear the baby in the background. She's testing out her lungs right now.
Get a little bit older. We got to put him to work.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I get Nash out there, but we take forever. He sees a squirrel, he runs. So
good stuff.
Let's see what else we can do. Okay, here's a cool one. Target investors who are trying to rent their properties. So you could look for properties right now being advertised, or look for properties that were leased 8 to 10 months ago. Go find out who those owners were, pick up the phone and call. Say, hey, I know you rented your property out almost a year ago. I'm just curious, is there a price that you would consider selling that home before you renew the lease? Same message goes for the people who are actively, hey, I saw you had your home at 123 Main Street currently available for rent. I was calling to see if you could name your price. What would that price be to consider selling in today's market? You could use crazy language like that because that's the market we're in. Everything's selling. People are, if somebody told me they want to sell their home for 50 grand over asking today, I'd probably go talk to them because it's probably doable, right?
Yeah. So
it's just a great little, carrot to dangle in front of them.
I love your, you and I've shared it with a few folks. How we had always used the absorption analysis is, hey, if there's less than a month of inventory, you're going to be 10% over. We can position 10%. So if it's 200, we know we can probably position 220, 225. And I think we're all seeing that's true. Right. And
Yep.
So I love your perspective on the buy side is like, hey, just because you can qualify for 200 doesn't mean you're buying 200. And, so being able to use that percentage basis in today's market to kind of gauge, what your buyers need, what market they're really in. And then also sellers, right? They say some crazy number that, could very well happen, right now.
Yeah, in today's market, you just don't know. So if you're like, man, it sounds a little crazy, but not that crazy in today's market, do some due diligence, crunch some numbers, go knock on the door. Be like, hey, when we talked, you said 500. I know this sounds crazy, but I think you might be able to get 510. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how you're piquing people's interest. Like, I've had some conversations inside of my neighborhood, and they're like, bro, are you serious? 50 grand over asking? And I'm like, yeah, this one did it. This one did it. This one did it. And they're like, for 50 grand, I'd consider being a seller. And a lot of them are saying, I'll rent, I'll wait this thing out. I'm willing to take that risk because, 50,000 over what's already a drastically inflated market, that's hard to pass up for some people. So yeah, it's worth exploring. This is a cool one too. I think nobody's using, but predictive analytics, big data, using companies like Offers or Remine or, predictive analysis companies. Go target people with a high seller score who've lived in their home for 20, 25 years or more. Because most of those people are either moving out or downsizing or going into an assisted type living. you don't have to worry as much on the buy side, right? So, but they got a house to sell. So
Sure.
they can cash in, and they probably don't have a mortgage, and they probably paid nothing for the house 20 years ago. So they're sitting on several $100,000. It's a great nest egg. So I think we could use predictive analysis, big data.
Have you looked at Likely.ai? Have you looked at that company?
I have not. No.
Got a few folks that are looking at it, and it's predictive. It's some of the predictive data. So yeah, I think it's a great point.
Yeah. Again, low cost. If we only have a certain amount of dollars to spend, we can go shotgun approach and spend it everywhere. Or we can find data that has 7, 10, 12, 14% predictability. And a lot of these companies, since they've rolled out this predictive seller score, they now have several years of looking at their accuracy. Some of them are 65 to 75% accurate. That's pretty incredible. So it's a legitimate source.
Love it.
Probate and estate sales. Like, think about this. It's only a listing. There is no buy side. That's the perfect client today, right? So these people get stuck with a property. They don't know what to do. Some of them may live out of state. They don't want it as an investment, but they're sitting on a cash cow. This is a huge opportunity. I think a lot of agents aren't exploring right now. Go create relationships with some of the probate attorneys in your area. Be a resource. Keep them up to date in the market. Because when somebody comes to them and says, what the hell do we do with this house? We don't want it. We want to sell it. We want to liquidate it. Again, you want to be that top of mind go-to agent in the marketplace. And you could do that by, showing your expertise, following up, adding these people to your circle of influence, market update reports, just adding value. Step number 4 is reach out to your past clients. Anyone who bought a house 3 or more years ago, they have equity. So what I'm saying is prepare an equity analysis for them, send them a note, send them a text, give them a call. Hey, you've done really well in this market. Home values have increased by 27% since you bought your home. And I'm just curious, have you had any thoughts of moving up, moving down, or maybe even buying an investment property? They have equity. And
yes,
they may be looking to make that move up to a larger home, because interest rates are so low that if they took their equity plus the low interest rates, they might be able to move up and keep their payment the same, but finally get into that dream home. So this is a gold mine for those of you who have big past, client databases. Reach out to your old leads in your database. Those of you who've bought home value leads or have old expired leads, or even, quite frankly, buyer leads at a higher price point. And I'll give you an example. So in my CRM, I can see what the average price point is that buyers are searching. So let's say I had people looking at 600,000-700,000 or more. There's a good chance that they are a move up seller that already have a home that they own. I would send out these 9-word emails. This is straight from Dean Jackson.
Yep.
These are the 9-word engagement style emails. Hey, are you considering still selling your home in whatever area? Another one that I like is, hey, at what price would you consider selling your home? Because that's a play on how hot the market is. Send that out, send out 20 of these a day and go through your entire database. And you might be really shocked at the low hanging fruit that just dings you back and say, we've been thinking about it. What do you think our home is worth? Or I would sell if I could get 500,000. Right? Like, those are the engagements that you're looking at. Then you go do your homework and see if it's possible. If it's possible, you further the engagement. So those are again, what's this cost everybody? Nothing. This is a zero cost strategy.
Effort. It cost them effort.
And you already paid for these leads years ago.
Yeah.
Let's get something out of them. So I want to talk a little bit about step 6 is how do you get your actual buyers' offers accepted? So if you have buyers and you are writing offers, here's what I tell people. You got to do your homework. You have to know what the hell's happening in the market, and you have to set the right expectations with your buyers. I do this in my buyer consultation. So I don't just take people out because then, I want to set the groundwork of what's happening in the market. And I show them, I don't tell them. This is huge. I've been taking MLS data, days on market, list price, sales price ratio. I've been taking that and saving it. I've also been screenshotting all of the other realtors in my market who are posting on their social media. Oh my God, I just competed with 92 offers today. The house went for 110,000. So what I'm doing is saying, hey, let me tell you a little bit about this market. You see this? This is a local realtor. This is what they're saying is happening. Here's what I'm seeing. By the way, let's just look at the actual numbers in the MLS. You see this listing last week? Yeah, that one sold multiple offers. You see this one? And now they're seeing list price, sales price, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's 50,000. That's 60,000. And it's not me, but I am the market expert telling them what they need to know before they ever go look at a home.
And you're not the bad guy.
Nope.
Right?
And for those of you who have listings, what I started creating was a multiple offer spreadsheet. And it was just because I had a listing that had like 38 offers in it. How do you keep tracking that? So what I did was I just created a simple spreadsheet. The agent name, the buyer name, offer price, down payment, closing date, whether they gave us a lease back. There was like 5 or 6 headers on it. And now I can pull that up and like, let me show you with what happened on my last listing. This is great for those of you who, have listings that you can demonstrate this. And I showed them, look at how many of these, there was 36 of them. They all went over asking price. The winning bid was $38,000 over. They provided a free 2-month lease back. They covered the buyer's or the title policy. They covered this expense. There was no home warranty, blah, 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 blah. All of that increases the net on the seller side. And what I'm seeing right now in our market is we're seeing offers between 10 and 20% over asking price. So you got to educate them before you get them out there looking at homes, because you don't want to be dealing with this when you haven't set the expectation and they want to come in at asking price or below asking price.
Are you doing these consultations via Zoom over, together? Like how have you been delivering the consultation?
100% Zoom. And you know why I love it? Because I can sign into the MLS. I can show them. I can go over my presentation. I can show them. I can pull up my spreadsheets and show them. Like, it's not like it's not like I'm showing them in a book. Like, I'm literally saying, let me go into this folder with this listing. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just some authenticity behind it. And they know I'm not bullshitting them because I'm literally doing the work in front of them.
I love that. I've got a client that and she since COVID, she's only been in like one house and she's sold 75 homes in the last 14 months, and she's been in one home. Yep. And she told me that she really enjoys the Zoom consultation better with her sellers because she can be more present, she can demonstrate more. And she's not thinking about, holy shit, I got to get out of here so I can get on the road so I can get to my next appointment.
Yep.
And so she's like, it's forced me to, she goes, I'm better and I listen more, and it's a better conversation and a better presentation via Zoom than trying to get face-to-face. I was like, wow. I said, one, thank you for acknowledging that. But two, it really is powerful. She goes, I'm more present. I listen more. I'm not thinking about getting on the road. And, just remember how it used to be, hey, in and out, right? I got to get in and I got to get out. I got to get that paperwork signed and go. And I'm just doing a better job. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's huge. Let's see. I'm also adjusting when we talk about expectations, I'm adjusting their criteria. If they're approved for 300,000, we're not looking at $300,000 houses, right? We need to leave room to negotiate. We're also talking more about their needs versus their wants. And what that's doing is that's expanding our search, right? Like, if we just put in all their wants at their price point, there might be 10 homes to go view. If we focus on needs, we might have 20 homes to go view, and it's just expanded, our inventory. So that's a big one when you're just setting them up on search. The next biggest thing when you're writing an offer is focusing on the secondary terms. I have won several offers where we are not the highest bid, but we net the seller more money. We are doing leasebacks. Now, you got to talk to your lender, but for most mortgages, you can lease back for 60 days and still be an owner-occupied offer. Once you go over 60 days, some mortgages classify that as an investment property because you're not owner-occupied. You need to know that. So we're doing 60 leasebacks for free. We're doing increased earnest money. I can't tell you how many offers I received where everybody did the standard 1%. On one of the offers, what I did was 1% would have been $4,600. We put down $12,000 earnest money. That was the only difference between our offer. And they just said, hey, you had stronger terms. We are shortening our contingencies. So option, instead of going 7 to 10 days, we're going 5 days. We're having home inspection companies that can get in within 24 hours. That looks better. These realtors are still doing $100 option fees. I'm doing $500 to $1,000, which tells the seller, we're not backing out of this deal for minor cosmetics wear and tear. Like, we're serious buyers. We're also, with our mortgage company, we're getting our people approved through underwriting, not just qualified. What does that do? We can then take our mortgage contingency and we can shorten that down to 10 days, or we could waive it if they're already approved and still have subject to some other terms. We're also doing appraisal guarantees. For those of my buyers who have cash, we're writing you an offer for $30,000 over asking. We'll guarantee that if it comes in short, we've got cash where we'll pay the difference. We'll add it to our down payment. My buyers are also covering additional fees, like they're not asking for home warranties. They are covering the title policy. That could be a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 swing in the seller's net. Some of my buyers are paying for the survey. So when you factor in my offer with all of these 2-month leasebacks, that, it's like making my offer $10,000, $12,000, $13,000 higher without my buyer having to come out of pocket that extra money. So those are the secondary terms that most agents are not paying attention to. Here's a little bonus. Guys, I had 36 offers. You know how many realtors, not even all 36 realtors even called me and told me they were submitting an offer. Some just sent it over into my email. Don't do that. The other thing is, not only do I call, my lender follows up my phone call. So when I submit an offer, I BCC my lender. He then picks up the phone and follows up. Hey, this is so-and-so. I just want to let you know that I've already pre-approved these people. These are solid buyers. We're already through underwriting. Like, you're not going to have a problem. We are going to close this loan. I just wanted to let you know. So now, in addition to me calling, they have proof from the lender. My last 3 listings that all sold over asking, not one lender called me. Not even all the agents called me. So if you want to do the job correct for your clients, these are the musts. These are the minimum standards that we're doing today. So make sure you call, make sure your lender follows up, but you got to make sure you got a good, reputable lender, somebody people know in your market, because here's what happens. If it comes down to 3 or 4 offers, that listing agent is going to say, they're all good. Now, this one, their lender called me. He said they've already been underwritten, approved, that this thing is going to close. They can close in 5 days if they had to. So that's a sure thing. Which one do you want to go with? You know what I mean?
Just made the case for you.
Yeah. So we're doing these. Again, this is my minimum standards. This is what I'm teaching my buyers agents right now. If you want to roll and you want to be part of my team, this is how we represent our buyers every single time. And guys, here's the thing. None of what I'm telling you I've changed since this market shifted. This is how I've done my business since 2003. This is my minimum standard. Now, it looks different in today's market because nobody's doing it, but nobody's ever been doing it. But it does help, when I find myself in multiple bid. Let's see here. Help them increase their cash. This is another good one. Interest rates are so low right now. Talk to your lender. Could we bump up an 1/8 or a 1/4, which is not going to have a big impact in their monthly payment? But could that get $3,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in lender credit? to cover the closing cost? And if so, that now just bought my buyer $6,000, $7,000 in cash if we have to go over asking to guarantee the appraisal. So you got to be creative. How can you help your buyer increase their cash position? A lot of times that's just checking with your lender, see if you can get some increase in the interest rates and get yourself some credits from your lender.
Love that.
Step 7, this is the social media side of what we do today. It's memorialize everything you do on social. Share your success stories, share your challenges, share the market condition, tell people what you're seeing in the market, and then share your client experiences in testimonial. That is so, so powerful because it's not you saying it, it's them saying it. But let people know, hey, we just got an offer accepted for one of our buyers. We competed with 22 offers. Here's how we did it. That shit's going to resonate because if the other person listening on the other end has just missed out on the last 3 offers, they're going to start to say, man, Alex does some things really different. And if we're serious about buying a home, we probably need to go hire a professional. Let's give him a call. Let's send him a direct message. Let's inquire. Let's go to his website. So memorializing things on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, sharing these success strategies is really what everybody needs to be doing. If you're not leveraging video, you're not leveraging social. I got bad news for you here in the next couple of years with all the other like outside threats coming into real estate. Like you are a brand, people are going to do business with you. And if you're not out there, you're going to get passed by. That's just the truth. And then guys, if you're looking for a rock star realtor to send your referrals to in Dallas, I cover everything North Dallas, Frisco, McKinney, Plano, Prosper, Little Elm, Salina, whatever you need, reach out. And I am absolutely more than happy to take care of your clients and also make you look like a rock star for referring me. And John, that's all I got, brother.
I'm really proud of you for putting the presentation together. Usually we just Alex is like Will Ferrell in Old School, where he just goes off in the debate and then he just collapses. Like, what happened? What happened? No, great stuff. Absolute gold. And I know that's been your standard. So it's kind of cool that, you're still at it. Right. And, staying consistent, and it's how it has been for coming up on 20 years.
I can't believe that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Kathy's asking, what's the marketing message to attract sellers for Zoom consultations?
So I'm using, like I said, the express offer, the just sold, find out what your home is worth, like those messages. And then I'm just driving them to a traditional sales process, right? Like we don't change the sales process. And I talked about this in one of the Expert Mentors lives is you have to understand in real estate, there is a sales process that the consumer's used to. They usually fill out a form and then you got to pick up the phone and call them. Everything starts with a phone call. And then as we talk to them and we discover what their challenges are and say, here's our solution. Hey, when would be a good time for us to spend about 15 or 20 minutes to talk to you about how we could position your home to sell in today's market? Would you prefer to meet in person or do you prefer to do it via Zoom? And that's just the either or that I give them. And a lot of people like Zoom for the first initial consultation.
Great. I love that. I think you broke down that process on the for sell by owner episode you did, to where leveraging for sell by owners to create leads and opportunities and driving them into the sales process.
Yeah. And, the video, how to build your brand with video. That's another one where I really break down understanding sales processes, right? Like everything's a sales process. We call them funnels. The truth is it's a sales process. What is the consumer used to? Well, in real estate, they've always filled out something and then it's always been via phone call, right? Very few people are setting up appointments without ever picking up the phone. So I like to just get to the phone as soon as possible, have the conversation, find out their timing, motivation, what their needs and wants are, and how we could provide a solution for that, making them a compelling offer to getting face-to-face. If you guys have the script books, you have all the compelling offers, right, of why we get face-to-face. And then from there, it's just, do you want to meet in person or do you prefer Zoom? Right. I prefer Zoom. So I'm almost hoping they say Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because I love that, how you frame that for everybody, because you're able to demonstrate, a lot more, being able to show different things and being able to pull in via Zoom.
Yeah,
Folks,
Zoom has been, Zoom's been great. That is a thing, due to the coronavirus, like people had to pivot to that. That's something I'm excited about continuing no matter what, because it's so much better leverage for busy realtors. I mean, just think about how much car time you save, downtime, right? So
T's asking, have you ever pushed out a sold kind of endorsement video? You talked about
those are my testimonial videos, and the answer is yes. So I've taken those in the long form. So I had one that was about 11 minutes, and then I took each segment of it. There was about 5 or 6 questions I asked them. Each one of those 5 questions then became shorter little videos. And those are the things you can run on Facebook as a retargeting ad to your entire database. Those are the things you could put on YouTube because they're searchable. So yeah, I love using video endorsements.
Very cool. And do you like to send those to a little bit warmer traffic instead of cold?
Yeah. So an endorsement video or testimonial video, kind of one and the same. Those are retargeting. So the audiences I run them to are people who have visited my website and or Facebook page or Instagram page. So they are familiar with who I am. And then we just let them drip on, variety of different testimonials. And a lot of times if I've done cold lead generation, like a free list of homes or acreage, anything like that, anybody who's ever interacted with a lead generation form on Facebook also gets moved into the testimonial retargeting as well.
Gotcha. And then is it kind of consistent on the call to action, even on those?
Yeah. So the testimonial videos, guys, they are $3 a day. There's no money behind them. So there's not really a call to action because I have other marketing pieces also retargeting. This is just kind of like, you've been in my sequence. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of proof about what I do differently and how I help my clients, because then you're going to see all my other marketing to opt back in. And some of them have already opted in. They're on my website. It just makes the phone calls in the future like, oh yeah, I've seen this guy. I've seen him on Facebook. I've seen him on Google. Kind of follows me everywhere. So that's the idea of the remarketing, is to kind of warm them up.
Gotcha. Cool. Very cool. Man, absolute gold. Absolute gold. So another, what is an instant classic? Is that what? Yes. Is that what they're called? It's good stuff, man. I really appreciate you jumping in, and I know your schedule's crazy. Obviously we had to push it a month, but well worth the wait. All of you guys listening in, make sure you are connected with Alex, following him around for sure. Dive into those previous Expert Mentors episodes. The video one that Alex just mentioned is episode 71, and you can go to EMLreplays.com, and they're all right there for you. So go check them out. And man, brother, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Always happy to jump on and shoot the shit with you a little bit and add some value to the agents. So
add a ton of value.
If you guys need anything, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. Follow me on social if I can do anything to help you guys out. Pretty open book. I'll do whatever I can.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
All right, man.
See you.